pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody had a chance to read the minutes of the last meeting.
Make a motion to approve the submitted.
Second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Who was the second?
Lang.
Okay. Couldn't hear him.
All opposed. Okay, department heads. You got anything, Matt?
I have nothing at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's nice seeing you anyway.
Okay, drop down to miscellaneous business. Buckeye Power Sales Service contract. As I understand it, this is just a renewal of what we already are committed to. Renews in August.
Which unit is this, Matt?
That's the one there at the wastewater treatment plant.
And this is a 3-year agreement, guys, so.
Now this says from 25 to 28. Are those dates incorrect, or is this like just approving the second year of a 3-year plan?
Let me think.
Yeah.
I don't know, Matt was calling it. Or not, I am.
And it very well could be a typo on there, but it's a 3-year.
It's a 3-year.
It's a renewal.
It's a renewal
Okay.
for what we already have.
So probably
Yes.
26 to 29.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it does that, everything up here says 3-year renewal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right beside it says 3 12-month periods.
Yeah.
Is that increased much that you're aware of?
No, it stayed about the same.
Actually,
Really.
it's about the same.
Okay.
So basically, it's
That's a nice-
$4,065 a year.
Yep.
Assuming that's from August of 26 to 29, I'll make a motion to proceed with the agreement.
One second.
Have a motion that's been presented and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed. Motion carried.
I'll give you a copy of this one.
Yeah, and then I'll issue a purchase order for you that we'll sign.
Public Library street closure request.
Julie dropped this off Friday as she was leaving for vacation, and as you see, it's the 26th, so she couldn't wait till the July 6th meeting for approval. So That's why why I had to do the revision.
Pretty self-explanatory. I want to close off Market Street, actually from 27 to Vine.
My understanding is that they're having a great big truck come in and do a great big bubbles, like just onslaught of bubbles. That's why they're closing the street.
Is she requesting barricades or barrels?
Well, I'm sure we'll have to, like I said, she filled this out on her way on vacation. So, when she gets back, I'll ask her what she needs.
The only thing I want to mention with these road closures, we're having some of the issues. I'm getting called because they're wanting to close it down. They're putting on a time from, like, for example, let's say 5 to 8. Well, then they're coming in and I'm getting phone calls and everybody's upset because they're starting to close it down at 4 o'clock, for example, or they're not, they're starting to bring in stuff and park it in there the night before and start taking up parking spaces for downtown when they're not actually, like you guys approve them to close like a Sunday morning, say from 8 o'clock until 2 o'clock. Well, they're bringing things in on Saturday night and start taking up parking spots and blocking off parking spots for the local businesses on Saturday to have stuff going on. And they're already bringing things in, if you see what I'm saying. So they're asking for that. If they're wanting stuff closed down, then they need to kind of keep with what in the guidelines of what they're asking for. And I don't mean it bad. It's just I'm getting the phone calls then on the weekends of, hey, why did they shut this down already? And I'm like, I don't know. I just take the barricades and drop them off, and this and this and this. So
they're going to pre-stage. It needs to be
they
included in that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I'm finding out more and seeing more of is that and Live Liberty hasn't been too bad. They've been keeping right in within the guidelines, but a couple of the other ones, man, they're just as soon as they get there, they're shutting things down. And it's like, you didn't ask until 9 o'clock, so that I don't know how that covers everything or what, but a couple of the business owners get a little upset then because they're they're not getting utilize any parking down through there. So.
What I'll do is I'll modify this and I'll add, be sure you allow your setup time, not just your event time, because you're going to be on the hook for the time you ask for. So I'll put something like that.
Yeah, and the same way.
Bold it.
Yeah, in the same way also on the 5K runs, we're supplying them with everything. They're not blocking the streets on the side streets or any of that stuff themselves. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how if that runs under, I assume it falls under their insurance, but, we provided all the cones and everything for the neighborhood health run, and they didn't.
They're not using them?
Nope. They left them stacked out there at the building the whole time. Now they did. They left theirs stacked all up. They're not manning the intersections or nothing.
And I told them to. I told them they had to do all of that.
So, with coming in requesting all that, I don't care to, because it's fine, pass it all out, but they're not keeping up on their end of what to do as far as keeping track of the side streets and stuff like that. They're not manning none of that. So it kind of gets into that safety issue we discussed about before.
Right.
That's kind of why we come up with that new route, that way to keep them off the main drag, but they're still not blocking the side streets or manning any of those things like like they were asked to do, so we can keep the safety issue. So
They continue to do that. What's our next step?
We just basically,
Not providing stuff?
I would say so. Yeah, if they come back and request one next year, I'm just saying, like, for the neighborhood thing.
yeah,
Hey, this is what you lacked last year.
yeah,
If it happens again, you're not going to run again.
yeah. I mean,
We
I just
can't
don't
we
see
can't
nobody
keep this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
we got it laid out. We're giving them the equipment to protective equipment to put out there for it. So use it. I mean, I know it is tough trying to get enough people to man things, but we don't need anybody getting hit either. You know, that's why we're trying to. If you don't want to do it, then go to the traffic run, I guess, or somewhere where there's not as much traffic or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Melissa, how long do you keep these applications?
Oh, they're always a part of the agenda packet, and I keep the agenda packets as long as we're not audited. So I keep them until
We
the
got
audits go,
we got stacked down at the garage. We probably
and he keeps a
two or
bunch
3
too.
years worth.
There would probably be something to note on. Smell on the application.
Mhm.
It failed. That's one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all put even on closing down the main block, like talk about like festival time. They're coming in the evening before, taking if the street's not blocked off yet, I don't feel that there should be parking there. I don't know what we can do about it. Is there, I don't know, except ask them to cooperate.
PD,
Well, that's what I mean.
stop by and issue a warning or a ticket or something for whatever the parking violation is. Not that that gets us anywhere. Sure, some authority.
So do you want to give her a tentative approval, or what do you want to do? Like I said, this is the 26th, and we don't have any other meetings previous to this event.
What if that truck comes in 9 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, go over and sit in the parking lot.
Yep.
Till we get to the street. I think that probably mentioned to her.
Yep.
So Matt, at this time's like 11. Is that not the time to take this stuff there?
I don't know. So normally, depending on what days is it?
It's the 26th, which is
Friday.
what? It's
Friday.
a Friday.
That's on a Friday.
So
So with it being through the week, we can meet them up there, take them up whatever time through the week. We can do it that way. Now, when it's on the weekends, what we do is we meet them, explain to them that you're eligible to shut it down at 8 o'clock till 2 o'clock, and then they sign for custody of
the cones.
taking the cones and all the barricades. We don't go out and set them up just for the simple fact it's never been discussed because the guys about overtime coming in and taking it down. But that's how we handle it. So like with that being on a Friday, we'll probably go up there about 10 or 10:30 and make sure they've got the stuff up there and see for sure what they want. I'll look at it and say, okay, we got these barricades block this, and this, and then we'll take that stuff up. I mean, we can go up and set it up for them. Through the week, we'll do that, but on weekends, we don't because of the overtime. So we can figure out if that's what we're going to do.
Have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the street closure request for the library. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion for this street closure request in a second. Any other questions? I question 4 o'clock. You gonna be able to get stuff picked up at 4?
No, we leave at 3:30.
I think.
Yeah. So what we'll have to do there is we'll have to discuss it with them, and then they're going to have to lay it up by the building somewhere, and then we'll have to just pick it up the next morning, and then we'll make sure whatever we took down, we pick up, and then if not, they're responsible for whatever's lost.
Okay.
Aye.
All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Indiana Trust Investment Pool.
Okay. Basically 2.5 weeks ago, Jerry, Jeff, and I met with the treasurer of the state of Indiana, Daniel. Daniel Elliott, and his aide, Randy. Call Randy's last name. They were here and discussing what this new SEA 1, or known as also SB 1, and how it's going to affect all of us. Not only just like small towns, but he's been on a big mission to go and visit people and visit municipalities to discuss what we can do to hopefully help offset what we're going to lose on the property tax side. So he came in and he gave us a couple ideas of different things that we could use, such as Indiana Bond Bank, which would help us with getting a bond in case we want to do any type of equipment or construction that we need to do. Also, he discussed with me and us about moving primarily our CDs that we currently have into the investment pool. Basically, what that is, it's kind of similar to a CD, but we send it to the state, and it's put in a pool with all other municipalities and governments, county governments. This was set up as a part of the result of the Depression, when the banks closed. Even though the towns and cities had money, well, when the banks closed, they lost it all. So this way, we're a little bit more diversified with the money that we have. The one thing I really do like about this program, number one, the interest rates are better. Not a lot better, but they are better. But the thing about it I like is that when we put this into the pool and we make the money, of course, on the percentage, on the interest rate, we can go and get it out anytime we need it, but I don't have to pay any penalties. Whereas if we want to cash in a CD and it's not at maturity time, we're going to pay it. We're going to be penalized. This way, if we move it to them, and let's say we decide we got to buy a fire truck or something, and we've got money in this thing, we can use. I would be on a portal, and I can move that money from the state to us, and I'm not penalized. So I think this is a better deal. And then also, I was thinking about this the other day like I said, you guys have heard me say it 1,000 times. I'm sure you're tired of hearing it. Once we get the property tax disbursement, if there's any way I can send more money to them in order for us to accrue more interest, I'm actually thinking about that. I would get with Baker Tilly basically and say, what would you feel comfortable I transfer to them so that we can generate more revenue for what we're losing with the property taxes.
Even if we dump it in for 90 days,
Yeah,
that's 90 days of interest.
Right.
We're not getting just keeping it in
checking account. I mean, we're getting a checking account interest rate, which is fine, but it would be like, I think you guys saw
that's almost 4%.
Almost, yeah.
365.
Where I think a lot of our CDs, we have a couple that are in the low threes, and then I know we have one at 2.92, I think, %. And if I could send more money that way, at least it'll help us offset, like I said, what we're not going to get.
I went back and looked since January. Everything's been 3.3.
Oh, did you go look?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to investigate this a little bit more. I do. I need to talk to Bath.
This group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was like, just go on every day and you can see what that interest rate is every day, what it is.
You can go to those websites that are listed there, and they give you a lot of information. That's what I'm sure you're working on.
Yeah. So
did it fluctuate daily or weekly or?
This was daily.
It's daily,
but it was pretty much right there. It doesn't fluctuate all that much. And then, like I said, I think it got 3.66 there, or 3.7 between the time.
So it's not drastic peaks. It's just slow up, slow down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to investigate this a little bit further. I want to get with Bath first and say, okay, if I move this here, will I get penalized, or should I just wait until when we have our it comes due? I think some of them came due in the early spring. I think I have one more yet to come due, so we may go ahead and move it. I want to get a little bit more information from them, and then eventually, like I said, after the property tax disbursement, get with Baker Tilly and say, what would you feel comfortable I said there, just so we can generate money. But if you guys are okay with that, I'm gonna start looking into this, because I think this could be a good thing for us.
That's weird. No, it was a good idea.
The only thing I couldn't find was what their fees were.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Thought I saw.
I
It
mean,
says that they charge fees, but they don't.
they really don't get it out there. So, and they didn't really, because I met with the lady Cindy Barger, who you'll see her picture down there. She actually came in and met with me last week.
Yeah, nowhere on the website.
So I'll talk to Cindy about the fees.
Exactly what their fees are.
Okay, I'll talk to Cindy about that.
I know I read something about fees. It may have been on transfers.
So,
Oh, it said your bank may incur a fee for wire
Right.
transfers, but they do not charge them.
right, because
Okay.
see, like, Bank of New York there for a while was not wanting us to write checks anymore, and they were wanting us to wire transfer. And I'm still getting by without doing that, but and I talked to Bath, and every wire transfer we would do to
$25, isn't it?
it's like $25, and we would have to do for the Bank of New York at least 2 a month, just because of water and sewer, because they each have a bond. So, it would save us money not send it, but hey, I'll talk to Cindy about the fees. So we'll see about that. But I think I'm just, if you guys are okay with that, I'm gonna look into this a little further, because I think it could help us immensely.
See, I take it these are all already rolled over.
Yeah, this is the only one. Well, I haven't gotten this notification yet, which I will. No, I did get this one. This was actually for budget last year,
Okay.
or not for budget, but for the AFR. So in December, this one's going to mature.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melissa.
Request in regards to utility discounts.
Disconnects. Okay, you guys, this has come up. This is the second time in about a year this has come up. We got a letter from the medical center around here, the neighborhood medical center, requesting that we not turn off a patient of theirs due to their medical issues, but yet this person is behind on their account. So it puts us in I want to say kind of a quagmire, because the water utilities, I'm still trying to get it built back up, and I worry about people getting too far behind. How far do we let these people go in the hole before we ask for them to pay? Different situations like that. So I talked to Jim about this last week, and he stated we should probably get a policy. Rhoda, he would do it for us. He knows my concerns about doing this type of stuff, because I feel like it makes me look not sympathetic, but I am. But yet, I'm running a business, and so
We're responsible to the taxpayers,
We are
not to
responsible.
the individual that's sick. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, and that's where I feel really, really bad. So I told him I'd talk to you guys. I think what we do is just let him go ahead, formulate a policy, and we look at it and see if it's something we feel like we can do. Like I said, I'm on the fence with that. Like you said, Ross, you got to see both sides of it. So, that's the only thing I can think of, is just let him write a policy. He said he could, and let you guys review and see what you think.
Did he indicate if that policy would include basically like the doctor has to sign
Yeah,
off?
because
and
see, I was telling him I don't want
This-
somebody just coming in saying, "Here's my slip." We got to be careful. I want, how do I want to say this? To be able, they have to provide documentation of why, but yet then you got to watch HIPAA,
I was gonna say we can't get over that HIPAA.
because you got to worry about HIPAA. So that's why I'm like, Jim, write something. I think it sounded like to me when I talked to him previously, when I talked to him last week, that he's done it before. So I'm gonna go ahead if you guys are okay with it. Have him write them up, and we can look it over and say, yeah, or no.
What about throwing something on the listserv and see if other communities?
I did, and I have only thing.
No.
The only one I got was one lady that said, tell them to go to your trustee. And I was like, no, because that's when Matt was out of town, and I was like, I'm not gonna tell them to call the trustee because I know he's not around, and they're gonna call him until. But Matt's got,
And that's part of that job. But my only thing is, why wait till you get behind on the bill to
Yep.
go get? I know I don't have, but why wait till you get behind on your bill if you go get a slip to say that? Why are you?
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you're truly ill and you need something done, why are you waiting until you get behind and say you're going to get disconnected?
And for some reason this month, this has been
This is
this was
probably-
the worst month of red tags we've had.
This has probably been the worst one we've had in a while.
Yep.
In fact, we should have 8 off.
And usually we're about 4.
2, 3, 4. We had 8 this month. So.
And, unfortunately, I think it's going to get worse with the way the economy's going, but, I don't know. It's not an easy decision to make. So I'll have Jim write something up, and we'll see if it'll fit the narrative that we want. In case any more of these, like I said, this is the second one I've had in about a year. The first one actually ended up working itself out, so that was fine. The second one worked itself out, but I think it's going to come back around.
Normally, how far do they get behind before they get red tagged?
Oh, they can only go. So if you're, let's say, okay, this month, June 15th is, of course, today was due date. Okay. So they will get, those who pay after 9 o'clock tomorrow will get a late notice. Okay. Then, or it'll go within a couple days if it's sent out tomorrow. Then, so that's the second. That's the notification first. Then they get, when we send the bills out, because you have to also make sure that you're getting the required notifications into it.
Right.
So then they get the late notice. Then the first of the month they get the bill that shows what they have, what they're in the arrears, and what they are for the current. Then they have, from the time the day we get those, the first of the month notices or the bills, we give them maybe I give you guys like 2 days, to get them out.
Well,
So
yeah.
2 days, let's say we get them here in the office. I go by when we get them. So we get the water bill, let's say on January, let's say July 3rd. Let's say we get them on July 3rd. We get them, the customers get them. From July 3rd, they get a red tag. And then they have 7 days to pay off what they owed in June. If it is not paid off by 4 o'clock on June or July, whatever, 10th, they're turned off. So basically, they're only a month behind.
Yeah.
But actually, by the time they get there, it's almost 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's also, I can't really tighten it up anymore because I'm just by the requirements we have to make. But we have usually, when we run our first reports on the red tags, our initial go out is at least 70 a month.
We've been averaging about anywhere between 60 and 70.
The last month was 100 and some.
126 red tags.
Yep.
Yeah, we had 126 red tags and 8 of them shut off. Went on payment.
Yep.
How many water customers do we have roughly?
About 1,300, isn't it?
1,320.
25, 13,
1,328 or something. Yeah,
It's
right.
almost 10%.
Yes.
It was this last month.
Just this last month.
Normally we're also, like I said, we're around 60 to 70. I mean, ballpark. But yeah. Yep.
So I'll just have Jim put the policy together, and I'll have you guys take a look at it and see if it's something you want to consider.
What's behind their request in regard to what's the medical situation? that they would request that be disconnected.
I just got a letter from this, Schumann. I think she's the NP out there, and requested that we not turn this person off because of health issues, and it would make them,
So they don't give you any issues, basically.
no. But I'm assuming that's part of HIPAA too. We're not allowed to know. So, but then it's like, well, I don't know. We have to, like I said, I'll check with Jim, see where I guess we draw the line, and go from there.
Anybody else have anything?
I do real quick, because I talked to Todd Dickinson this morning, and I told him I'd have to ask you guys, because then I would have to put it in the fee schedule. Of course, I'll be aware of the signs that we put out, like on parades and street closures that says, the time that it's closed, and we, like the homecoming parade, and we stick them all up the street. And Todd's very good about questioning costs and stuff. Like we got a request that somebody wanted like 10 of them for an event that's happening up, I think it's Friday. And it comes out, historically it's been coming out of the police department budget. But those signs are not cheap. They're like $5 a piece. And so for people to just want them and to close the street, we're like, we might want to consider, if you want signs, you're going to have to pay for them to close. I said, well, that'd be up to you guys if you want to consider that. But with as tight as our budgets may be getting, we may have to. So I said this person wanted like 10, and they're like $5 a piece, so that's $50.
What's the event?
Well, like a parade, those signs. I don't know. It's Live Liberty, I think, has.
You got Live Liberty in the middle of the square Friday night.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
you got a Live Liberty in the middle of town, so they're shutting down from Union Street, from Main Street up to Market Street.
Okay.
And then, but see, they want the buckets out, and then they want to be able to staple the signs up down through there in front of the businesses on Union Street and in front of the courthouse, so they can have the cars moved by whatever time it's specified, so that they can start setting up for their band or whatever they're doing down here in the middle of town. So,
I can't do it right now because we don't have it in ordinance.
Right.
So, but for future, I'd like to get your thoughts on what you think.
Is that something that you can add to that application?
I'm thinking that's what I'm
How many?
thinking.
If this is what they cost, and how many do you need? And then when they sign it, then you add it on to the
The cost of the
fee of the application plus the.
cost of the posters.
and I think that, and I'm just saying with these road closures, as many as we're getting, I think that they need to be reviewed before, some of it needs to be reviewed before it comes to you guys, so that we actually know all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and this is what they're actually wanting. Because, for example, with the health department, when they did theirs, they had no clue what they were doing. She's wearing me out about wanting to shut down the night before. She's wanting to do this. Well, I've never done this, and what do I do? Right, but here's what you got to follow. You know what I mean? Do you need closed signs? We'll put the buckets up, because it takes Whitney time to write them all out, for the time.
And I stopped that because
it
it has nothing to do with us. So if they want the signs, I give them to them for them to fill out. Used to be Whitney would do all the writing, and I'm like, wait a minute, not our event.
Yeah.
So
The only thing will be is if we pass out the signs I've seen in the past there again, we're gonna have to make sure PD then enforces what the time is, because they'll write whatever time they want, and then they feel like, because it does say by police order.
Yep.
So if they go in and say they're really not shutting down until 6 o'clock and they make it at 4, then you got the beauty shop and you got the hardware store, and then others right down through there that now you're telling people they can't park there from 4 o'clock on.
Yep.
Now those people are upset because their businesses are getting.
what I need to be doing with you is when I get them,
Yep.
You and I need to go through it.
Yep.
And because you, like I said,
And I
you'll
can-
be able to catch.
Yep.
But like I said, Julie dropped this off Friday afternoon right before she left on vacation, so I didn't really. There was no point because she's not going to be here to discuss it. All right, that's what we'll do.
Anything else?
Bills.
What about our tree trailing stuff? What's that for?
The tree trimming stuff. I'm right now. My time's been tied up with the water project. We had a meeting with Westler. We're at 30% completion. We did get to one tree cut down on Union Street already. I talked to the homeowner there a little bit about what was going to go on. He just went ahead and took the tree down himself on one of them. I haven't got any further on the letters yet. We're
swamped right now.
well, I'm trying to get my vacation used up before I lose it.
Yep.
I still got almost a week yet to use before the 26th, so or I lose it.
So like on this where we had 23 trees identified, do we get a quote for all 23 or is it, do we get quotes
No, I
for
think
each individual one
I
and then
think
if we need them?
right. I think what we're going to do is I really haven't went out and quoted every one of them that way. I'm going to go through and pick the ones that we had on that list that we had there, and then we will go through, see what we got, and then some of them was cleanup work more than it was cutting them down. And then what we'll do is I'll get a price, but then I'm going to try to get two prices. I'm going to try to walk around there, so I have two people there and say, here's where it's at. And then we'll send the letter out. Because like I said, I can't make one letter across the board because
Everybody's different.
everybody's tree is going to be different. One tree, we're going to clean up part of it. Hey, you need to get this cleaned up. Another tree is going to be one that's going to have to
Can
be
you have
taken.
a day of just interested bidders that you walk around all at the same time?
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw it out and I'm going to call like 3 of them or 4 and say, here's what I've got going on. And let's meet here. And then we'll go through and we're going to go to each one of them and I'll give them a list. We're going to look at this tree, this tree, this tree, this tree, and make the suggestion and go.
I would think with those, just do it as a lump sum bid. Don't sit there and nit like, okay, you're the lowest one on this tree. You're the lowest one on
Total
No,
package.
no.
total package.
That's what I'm
no.
saying.
Okay, I was making sure. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm going to take them all together.
Right.
That way we're all on the same page of what we talked about so that
Everybody knows this tree.
Jerry can't say, well, I'm only trimming that tree, but no, Ross said we're taking that tree all the way down. And Derrek said, no, I misunderstood you. I only want to trim part of this tree. I want everybody to be at the same meeting all at once. Just like when we do the sidewalk or whatever else. You lay it all out at one time. That's all I was going to try to do. But yeah, we've been really busy. We're just busy with everything and
Babysitting all this fiber optic
and then the
going in.
fiber optic stuff and trying to get the streets straightened up because I'm having trouble getting them. They actually fired a crew that's on High Street. The one crew got fired up through there. And then we caught it. Melissa got a phone call one day. We did catch. Heck, they bored on the wrong street. Put fiber into everybody's yard. Put the orange tubes up. That street wasn't even supposed to be up there in East Sycamore. They were running it up in their yard. It was all overhead. So the lady had called the office, just raising heck in here. Said, let me go look at it quick. I mean, I don't have the set of prints, but I'll make a phone call. We got up there and I'm like, there's no way this is right. The boring company had went and bored into everybody's yard. I'm not talking in the right of way. They went up in their yard 25 and 30 feet and stuck an orange tube up in the middle of their yard. Come to find out, we're not supposed to be boring there. It's all overhead, guys. So they,
I can't figure out what the hell they're doing anyway, especially up on my yard, on my street. When they initially went up there, people across the street had 2 tubes coming up.
Mm-hmm.
They came in last week. Looked like they just got a hold of one of it, pulled it up about 5 feet, but the other half of it, the other tube, it's nowhere to be found. I mean, did they bury it? What did they?
So what they do is they pull second line. So if they have a problem with that fiber down the road, they cut that off underground, and then that's their connect so that if they have to, they can pull it from the box because it's in the box that way. So like if this one on the east side breaks or they have something collapse or whatever, then they can pull that line back out, down through, come back up, and then feed it right back up the same spot. So they basically run two for one, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? So they cut them off and then bury the other one, put a cap on it, and bury it in the ground.
That's what they must have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen they've been doing. But like on High Street, we're having problems because they hit the water main up or hit a water service up there on us. We're getting ready to bill for it. But then also they come back and they start filling in the saw cutouts. Well, they never done it properly, and when of course I was trying to take a couple days vacation, get things done, I went back and I just happened to walk in. They're like jello, so that tells me there's water underneath them.
Mhm.
Well, come to find out, the one they've got a problem with, it is laying right up against one of our water mains. So they probably nicked something. The water's leaking into the manhole for the fiber crew because they pulled the manhole and there is water coming in there. So now they're going to have to dig it back up, start over. But that crew got fired. Frontier let them go right in the middle of the project. So it's
And
like,
just so you guys know, Matt and I are, not to interrupt, but it's on the brains. I better get it out. Because if not, it's lost. Perils of getting old. Anyway, we are keeping track of all of our costs, his time, anytime our guys have any materials, and then we are going to, if they do not reimburse us, Jim is going to take over and we'll take them to court and get our money back. I guess the town accounts did the same thing.
yeah.
That's according to our
And so
engineers.
far, Frontier or Verizon has been decent to work with. I mean, if I call them, they will get on, but it's just we're not going to let it slip through the cracks because there's been too much of it going on. So, and then we're actually working on some paperwork for down the road. And just so you know, Comcast did call me back. I told them, they still want to know about proof. They're not coming in right away. Financially, they can't bring. They're not going to bring it in right now. So that was the last word I got from them. So Comcast won't be coming to town, which is kind of a blessing, right? Well, it is kind of a blessing right now because I mean, if it
This
with
has been a
everything
lot.
else that's going on, and where they're putting all of it, I'll have some pictures later to show you. But like, we had to do some work on water services and putting some stuff in, and it's taking us double the time to put a service in right now because we're having to hand dig. We can't dig it with the mini. And Derrek will attest. I mean, once you start getting to it, I mean, like we had, they're running 6 tubes of fiber in the ground, so they're laying 3 on top of each other. So fiber this way, then we got gas on top of that, then we got our sewer mains down here, then we got a water line trying to go. It's all hand digging. The guys could have had service put in the other day. They spent 11 hours hand digging because we don't know where everything's at now because they were 4.5 foot off on locates too. So it makes it bad. One of the things I think we're going to have to look at down the road, and I know, we're still going to have to dig, but I think something we're going to have to look at down the road, we're going to have to look at a vac trailer of some type to where we can spot those utilities before we have to do any work or do service work because, I mean, we can dig and hand dig all day, but then there's a day of doing nothing but hand digging to spot the utility. And it's worse now because like try to put a stop sign in or anything. You got gas here, you got fiber here, and we're trying to put the signpost in between the two. And then you got another fiber on the backside. I don't know where I'm gonna put that stuff eventually. So
Also, guys, before I forget once again, old age, on your desk or right in front of you guys is the first draft of the new employee handbook. I met with Amani last Thursday. You will notice when you look at it, what's highlighted in like kind of a gray because I don't have a color printer. Those are either federally mandated additions to the employee handbook or what she calls and we call best practices, things that should be in the handbook that we don't have. So if you would please look it over. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, let me know. So at least by the next meeting. at the next meeting, let me know if there's anything, that way I can get back to her and let her know, if there's any changes you guys wish to make.
Anything else?
Matt, what's the mess going on up there in front of Von Don? Is that
Well,
do we
That's
need-
it.
that's
do we
the
need to
problem.
fix it, or is that
No,
fiber, or is that
no. So
bid?
what happened was the mess in front of Von Don. We had to make a sewer tap, and then we also had to make a water tap. So obviously the sewer is going to be in the middle of the road. The water tap was on the south side of the road. We had to get it over to Von Don on the other side.
Okay.
We were going to directional board. I couldn't directional board because the utilities that are through there are so bad. That's where we did all the hand digging. So what I've got is we've got several places around town. We got to let that settle a little bit more, Ross. Once it gets done, then we're going to come in and I'm going to see about bringing Hoskins or Omer, whoever I can find. They'll bid it out, and then we're going to have to do some patchwork in town to get asphalt back.
Gotcha.
But it is ours. We just got the water done last week.
Okay.
So it's got to settle out some more, or we're going to have the spongy, and we'll just waste our material.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.